Boy, I forgot how this thing goes. Today this is my fourth show on Sportswire Radio, but it's only my first one live. In fact, I recorded 3 shows. You saw 2 shows, but they weren't recorded today. I'll talk about those 3 shows and put this man in the company of, boy, I'll talk about those elites, and he'll be like, man, I'm the main event. I'm the guy here live. I'll definitely get into that later on, but this man is a very, very busy man. We don't get a chance to have him on. It seems like it's every 6 months. Every 6 months he comes on here, but he's got a lot of great things to talk about. He'll piggyback off maybe the guy that was here just days ago, Austin Edwards. And boy, I didn't see that coming with the assassin Austin Edwards. We'll talk about that. I know you're waiting to talk about that. I'll get into him. And boy, I have some words, and this man will have some words here for that. We'll talk about those BYCW World Tag Team Championships being defended. We'll most certainly get into the Black Veil. We'll talk about BYCW definitely making a lot of moves, and we'll talk about some guys that's a hit marker that he and him, boy, they almost killed each other figuratively and literally in that freezing cold Tennessee darkness. And we'll talk about, most importantly, the end of an in-ring career coming up. Yeah, I'll get to that. Plus, I got to give this man something, and we are so excited to be here live. Like I said, I almost forgot how to do this, but I'm going to start this show up here the only way I want to do it, and I'm going to do it for this man because he hasn't got a chance to hear it that much, and Austin Edwards, after all, got to hear it, so this man's most certainly got to hear it. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is my great honor to bring this man back on and start this show off here in style on Sportswire Radio, the #1 global radio station where all music, all sports, and all wrestling matters. So, with that, wait for it. Further ado here on the Sports Report. #1 cable sports show. A man that for over a decade has been traveling up and down the backyard and underground wrestling circuit and has made a name for himself, most importantly, in one of the premier companies around, not just in the backyard, the underground, but in all of wrestling. He is one half of the reigning, defending BYCW World Tag Team Champions. His name is simply but Dalton Scott! The champ is here, my friend. How are we doing?
Doing great, Tom. How you been, man?
I'm doing great. My first thought was with the hat on, are you trying to tell me to bring Slipknot on Sportswire? I'll try my best.
I swear. That's what I was going to ask.
Well, it makes you feel better. Maxwell Reeves, when he was on here right before Christmas, was like, I was thinking maybe you could bring Oasis on. I'm like, we're trying. I mean, I announced it earlier on Facebook. We'll have Joel Hoekstra of the Trans-Siberian Orchestra and Whitesnake. So we're getting there. We'll get into that, but it's so great to see you. And first of all, congratulations on the baby.
Oh, man, thank you so much. He is a wonderful, healthy baby boy.
Good.
Big, very big.
Congratulations. Obviously excited for you about that. But we have a lot to talk about here over the next hour or so, and I want to get into it because Dalton Skull, for those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the platform that you and BYCW most certainly helped build, Sportswire Radio. Talk to me, first of all, how are you still standing after what you and that hit marker did to each other the last time we saw you and him in a Tennessee death match in that freezing cold.
Oh man, it was definitely something. I did things in that match I don't think I would probably ever even thought about doing ever again. Like I got we got a certain amount of dates left, certain amount of matches left, and I'm glad I was able to have that experience with ATK, a very young up and coming talent. He's
Yep.
got a lot of history already in the backyard, but being able to
Yeah.
share that moment with him, man, he's got some guts, bro. Because whew, that he
Yeah, no, I've had him on a few times the last few months. Obviously, him and his, back again in YBW and obviously KTW, his home company, which came over to you guys. Obviously, and he's still a part of BYCW. But yeah, he's definitely, for a guy his age, he's definitely put his body through a lot in a short amount of time, and especially with you of all people.
Oh man, yeah. My body's definitely have been through the ringer, but I mean, like I said, once again, there was pure wrestling in that death match, and
Yep.
also death match wrestling. I mean, we didn't go to this to the point where we was like stabbing needles in each other's jaws, stuff like that. But I mean, it was something we would consider a death match down here in our part of Tennessee, anyways. Now, I mean, I know there's going to be people that look at it and be like, "Oh, that ain't death match wrestling." I mean, oh well, it's a gimmick match. I mean, there's a lot of things you see that doesn't really come out the way you want it to be. I mean,
No,
like,
listen, you know what? You're going out there. At the end of the day, you're putting your body on your line, and whether it's classically a death match or classically not, I mean, whatever the term is, you are putting your body out there. So at the end of the day, I mean, you're doing things, and I put that footage up not to remind you, but to the context. And at the end of the day, I mean, listen, you're out there, he's out there, and that's really the only two people that matter.
check out that wrestling gear. That's a pretty good wrestling gear right there. But man, pulling out I've never done that before. I can't even lie. I don't remember everything in this match, and I'm just stabbing him in the head. Like I no, I guess I was now he's stabbing me in the head.
Yeah,
Ow.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that now. They got
Well,
stuck.
yeah, I apologize for making you remember that. The good news is the baby went to sleep. So that's the good news is the baby won't see this.
Yeah, my baby is probably not gonna ever watch this match until he is done. Because we really went hard in that match. As you can see the blood going
Yeah.
down my head a little bit. And then I literally cut his head open with a pizza cutter. And
Yep.
you can see it right here. I think I remember reversing this. That was pretty nice. And I came in with a pretty I just
You did it. Well, your styles clash was really good. I mean, the styles clash you did in the match was, definitely, really well done.
sorry about that. But
No, no, no,
yeah,
no. You're Dalton Skull. It's okay. Don't worry.
I mean, the Styles Clash is something that I don't do often. It's a little bit of a callback to Blake Still. If a
Yep.
lot of people don't know that, I'm going to give a lot of shout outs probably here tonight and with some things to see. Like I gave Jay Wild a shout out in this match when I
Yep.
hit the pile driver. I gave out a shout out to pretty much everybody, and they didn't stick. Like I was smacking the crap out of them right into his head, but they did not stick. But
Yeah, he was just the hit marker just kept looking at you.
I was literally hitting them, and he was just staring at me, and I'm like, I would just punch me or something, and like right there. I don't really take German suplex often, and I'm pretty sure I got stabbed somewhere by one of them spears or whatever you call them.
Yeah.
But I see him grabbing the thumbtacks here. I remember Okami. He was on ringside. I told him before we even went out there, before the match even started. I was like, Okami, I got this. You just let me do me, bro. I could do this. And he was like, I got you, cuz. And I was like, nah, man, I got this. Just let me do me. And if you watched here recently on Wednesday Night Showdown, Okami took a hell of a headbutt from ATK.
Yep.
And
Yeah, I was gonna talk about ATK. That was on this past week's show, which everybody, I'll put the link in where people can sub as well.
Oh, I'm even cringing right now going back. I remember seeing that, and my first
Well, we
reaction,
won't
like,
watch the whole match, but I think we got the point. Now, listen, if you're cringing, it's time to take it off. Okay, I got that.
yeah, that.
Thank you for no, thank you for letting us know. We should move away from that. But no, I mean, ATK. You made a good point in that ATK. I kind of feel like these last 6 or so months definitely has evolved. Maybe he talked about here his own stuff he went through, and he's come a long way. And you've certainly had your battles with him, and just talk to me about the overall competitor he was, and having him here a part of BYC, which I think in a lot of ways did lead to his comeback in YBW. I mean, we had him here right after that. A lot of people were really shocked, especially not going down that road. That's already been in the past, but
Yeah,
him coming back to YBW really shocked a lot of people. And I think a lot of ways, I think you should get some credit for that, because I think he proved himself here in BYCW that he definitely can be somebody that can come back and show himself to be a well intended representative.
I appreciate that. And like BYCW is always a place, like if people feel like they're not welcomed or something, there's always a place welcoming, and there's always a door open at BYCW. And ATK as a wrestler, man, like going against that kid is like chemistry. He's one of my, like, definitely in the top 10 competitors I've ever faced in my wrestling career. Me and him can flow like water. It's like you can see it. Sadly, I don't know if I don't know if I'll have any more matches with him or not. We got to figure out about the match cards, like coming up with the
Right.
Dranger and stuff. But I know I'll be defending my tag team championships here soon. But ATK, I hate that I've never beat the kid. I mean, I won the tag team championships with the kid, but I
Yep.
never got to beat the kid. The kid beat me in the triple threat match with Okami, and then he beat me in the death match. But Okami actually got to do something I didn't get to do. My tag team partner was actually beat ATK, which I think is very interesting. Great match, by the way. Great match.
That's no listen. I mean, ATK was a part of action here on BYCW, and I'm gonna put the YouTube channel. People can sub to that. But the listen, I mean, I think obviously what you've put out there with ATK, I certainly think speaks for itself. And I know ATK will be a topic on next Sunday's show, certainly with the YBW guys, and I'm sure the hit marker will have a comment on that. And I did want to talk about something else. You guys got a chance to go out there and wrestle in a ring in front of a live crowd, Austin, and talk a little bit about that before I come back to some BYCW events, and talk to me about just how that felt for you and the rest of the guys in the company.
Well, I do a little bit of the backstage stuff too. So, I was talking with the general manager, and I'm like, look, this might be a good idea. Let's talk to these guys. Let's see if we can film some matches over there. Let's see if we can get some live events going on over there. So we got it where we can film 2 matches for each show. So we're allowed to have 2 BYCW matches at the DWUT event, and it allows us to be able to be in a real ring in front of an actual crowd, like you see in the videos of everybody popping, everybody
Yep.
actually like being really hyped up, and it's just amazing experience. Like you can see me and Okami there, the growth of when me and him first won the tag team championships, the which Brett and Will hold right now, the Virginia boys. But I mean, you can see the growth from the Skull family to what we are now. I mean, Okami's had a lot of injuries, but now seeing him coming back, he's like a house on fire, man. He's like constantly going, and that's somebody I would love to see on here one day is Okami Skull.
Listen, the door is open with the guys. Austin's been here a bunch of times, and he certainly made his presence felt the last episode. So you know that. Listen, the door is open for Okami and the BYCW gang, and the door is always open with that. And obviously you and the guys getting out there. I know Austin really talked a lot about what that meant, and I think it's great for everybody to get out there and have those opportunities. And I think that the best is yet to come with that.
I mean, all disrespect to Austin, he's a sellout, man. Like,
I'm gonna bring it up right off the bat. I mean, what do you think there? Because we knew the friendship that he had with Drake Steele, and we thought that the way he did what he did. I mean, we're not gonna spend all night on it because he was here with
yeah,
it less than 2 weeks ago. But you've had quite a history with Austin Edwards the last year and a half, and you basically called him a sellout. And I gotta let you then talk more about it for a minute.
look, Austin was the perfect underdog, man. Like he
I
was like
know people loved him. I loved him. We were comparing him to Goldberg for a while. He was just against all odds. We knew his history, what he fights with outside the ring, just to be here, and then he
he just
turned
sold
on
out.
all of it.
He pretty much sold his soul for gold. And if anyone
Yeah,
knows that is not a good outcome. I mean, look,
yeah,
I turned on my cousin, and that didn't. It took almost 2 years to a year to us even like rekindle. Like I had to apologize. That it was
yep.
greedy, and Austin just got greedy, man. And that's something that I don't. Austin Edwards, man, I've had a lot of matches with Austin, and
Yep.
I loved Austin, and now I just got like this deep hatred. He shouldn't be BYCW World Heavyweight Champion. He shouldn't be the undisputed champion, whatever you want to call it. He should not be champion right now. Drake still should be the BYCW World Champion because Drake still trusted that man to have his back.
Yeah, they're best friends. I mean, that was a really, I mean, to have Austin Edwards here, it was for a lot of people I know disappointing out there that are BYCW fans because they've rooted for Austin. I know he's had his up and downs in the ring this past calendar. I know it wasn't the same as when he debuted in 2024, but I feel like a lot of people were taken aback by this one. And I think the way he won it, it's still difficult for people to process. But in some ways, you have to be happy he is taking on the Black Veil. I mean, that's where you and him do share something in common. He seems to be picking fights with them, and he claims to want to pick them apart. He's gonna run through all of them. So from your vantage point, I know you're not happy with what he did to get the title, but you do have that common bond or common enemy, I suppose.
I'm going to tell you straight up. In the locker room, nobody likes Austin. Right now in the locker room, Austin's not allowed in the locker room. He has to
Wow, he's got the Miz territory there. Oh, I
yeah,
see.
he's kicked out. Like he literally went too far. And the Black Veil, they got their own little thing. They're not in the locker room barely any. Like the only time they're in the locker room when it's time to go out the locker room.
Ooh.
Nobody likes Austin right now, and definitely nobody likes the Black Veil. And as the drop of bombshell, we just got informed that Maverick Knight actually has stage 4 liver failure.
Oh my God, no.
Yeah, I mean, I do hate the Black Veil, but for now, just like I hate to break that news on here like that, but Maverick Knight is out of action indefinitely until he is cleared to come back, or if he even can come back.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say it here because I'm sworn, secrecy to the person, but somebody very close to my platform and somebody that helped me get to the 1,000 subscribers. She got me like 200 subscribers in a day. Actually, just yesterday told me just out of the blue that she has stage 4 cancer, and that's it. She's gonna die, and I don't want to say it. It's really, I've actually, the last 2 days have been, a roller coaster at that. So we hope that, Maverick can recover. We hope. I mean, we want to stay strong and positive, but that's definitely a blow because I think all of us in the wrestling community should certainly rally around Maverick and just that's, definitely not the bombshell I hoped you would have dropped.
The sad thing is the only Black Veil member I've heard of in the backstage area to have anything to do with him was Sparky. And Sparky is like, I don't even think he's coming back because the Black Veil has not even talked at all to Maverick Knight. They left Sparky completely out of the loop. We ain't even heard nothing from Sparky on business-wise. He ain't signed his contract to renew for BYCW. So right now, the only Black Veil members really left is Brandon James, the Southern Viking, and they're the newest guy, Blake Casey.
Well,
And
Brandon James has been a big part of things, and he was here in the chat. We know he's got the Intercontinental Championship. We saw it at the end of the show that took place this past Wednesday, which I just put the BYCW YouTube channel for. But he is certainly somebody that he had plenty of words for Austin Edwards, even though Austin Edwards beat him recently. But he still wants a piece of Austin Edwards, the assassin.
Brandon James is probably one of the biggest cowards I've ever met, because when my cousin got injured and we were supposed to have that number one contender spot match, but Okami wasn't able to make it. Brandon told me that he would be my tag team partner. Brandon told me he would be my tag team partner. The whole match he was acting weird, didn't tag in or nothing, but as soon as I could tag him in, boom, hits me, allows me to take the pin, and then he turns on me to join the black belt, and that's how he became a black belt member. So like, I have no love for Brandon James, and what he did to my cousin to beat him for the Intercontinental Championship is definitely despicable. Like I like this man right here is pretty much running the show now. Brandon James is pretty much like in charge of the black belt. And
Well, I mean, there's some strange bedfellows right now in BYCW. The situations are at hand, and Brandon's been very impressive, and I do want to show up Johnny Velocity's comment, who certainly went through his own issues, and he did want to say that he has his thoughts and prayers, and that he had the community support when he was diagnosed. And yeah, we definitely want to send our thoughts and prayers to Maverick Knight, and obviously anything we can do for him. And it's really news that I don't think anybody would want to wish on their worst enemy, and we want to keep him in our thoughts and prayers there with the stage 4 liver cancer. I mean, just really, we want to hope he stays strong, and we definitely love to see him out there.
I think it's liver failure, not cancer.
Oh, liver failure. Okay, good. I thought I heard liver cancer, but liver failure, nevertheless, that's a very serious issue. And
yes, and look at my cousin.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But
what's that?
My cousin just like going after the black belt. He's been having his problems, and sometimes he's like, "Hey, cuz, I got it," or sometimes I'm a little late getting to the shows. So, some shows I'm not there. And like, for example, with that, he if I'm correct, Brandon James ended up beating him in that match and becoming the BYCW Intercontinental Champion. And
yep.
Despisable. Like, the Blackheart literally made monsters. He made all that. If like, me and Blackheart originally made the Black Veil, and it was because we did not like each other, but we knew that we was going to be the saviors. We was the unspoken saviors for BYCW, even if they wanted us or if they didn't want us. And then he got a little crazy, and then he got all in their head, and then that made them a little crazy, and now they're like all crazy over there, crazy over here, and they ended up kicking him. The Black Veil isn't what it used to be. I mean, it is probably one of the biggest groups in BYCW history, but I mean, they can't compare it to the Skull family. Nobody can compare it to the. You got to think about it. The family legacy. You got Lily Skull. You got Dalton Skull. You got Okami Skull. You got PKM. Like, you got to think about like the actual. Like, I have a bloodline in wrestling. My father was a professional wrestler. Papa Skull, you could pretty much say, and then my uncle, who was also a professional wrestler. Like, you gotta, like, it's in my blood. It's in my family's legacy. These are just a bunch of guys that get together and like think, oh, we're big shots, and let's go out here and do what we want, because we can't earn our title shots on our own. We lose when it's just us. Like, I mean, come on, how many times win regular matches without having an interference?
Well, what do they say though in this sport, that a win's a win? I mean, that's the reality of what they do say, is that it's a win's a win, and they find ways to win. And Austin Edwards also wants Blackheart. He made a challenge to him. I mean, so it's just some crazy times here in BYCW. Some really crazy times.
Yeah, right now it's like anarchy. You already know everybody wants to face Dalton Skull. Everyone wants to face Dalton Skull, but the time is about up. And I know on the next episode of BYCW Wednesday Night Showdown, I'm going to be having an open challenge. So I don't know who's going to be coming out there. Anybody from the back? Anyone like from BYCW? Anybody from any other company in the backyard wrestling community? I don't care who it is. Dalton Skull's retirement tour is just on by a little bit more because of the weather. If it wasn't for the weather being so bad, ladies and gentlemen, Dalton Skull would have retired in 2025, but I had to forlong because I don't feel like it's right to not give y'all the proper goodbye. Like what am I
Well,
gonna
Johnny Velocity, that's a great point that you make, because I'm going to put the post you put up on Instagram, and I know Johnny Velocity, is announced here that he's going to retire in the summer, and we know that you had talked about this last year, but you've decided that you're going to end it, and you've made it official recently that you've got 3 more shows left, and I mean, I know I have to ask it to you because everybody says in this sport, I'm done, and then all of a sudden something else happens, but this is it. You're saying, I know you've went through a lot. We know about the injuries in the past, other things. You obviously are a dad now, but is there a possibility that who knows down the road? But for now, this is it.
I told everyone this when my son is old enough to know what wrestling is and he sees my stuff and he says, "Daddy, will you wrestle again?" You will see Dalton Skull in a ring again. But am I going to say I'm going to come back full time? No, I would never be a full time wrestler ever again. That is something I can guarantee. Will you guys see Dalton Skull in the next year? No. Will you see Dalton Skull in the next 2 years? No. Will you see Dalton Skull in the next 3 years? No. You probably want to see Dalton Skull for probably another 5 to 6 years.
Well, I mean, look, that's a good answer. I mean, look, you're honest about it, and BYCW. I hope the landscape will continue to move forward. And it's an interesting landscape that it is, and without you, I mean, are you concerned about how BYCW will look? I mean, Austin Edwards is the champion right now. The Black Veil has certainly been running roughshod. I mean, you did mention your own family, but the family will be down a member for a while. I mean, are you worried about how BYCW will continue with these inmates running the asylum?
Something's got to be done before I go. And I'm going to try a lot. I'm gonna try to see if I can get some better people to get some like more security. Let's get like more control. We don't need an AEW environment back there. We need to actually have control. Like you said, the inmates need to be in control. They cannot run the asylum. But
Yeah, it's crazy right now.
speaking on that, like I said, I only got 3 more matches left, and we already know that I gotta defend my BYCW World
Yep.
Tag Team Championships at Apocalypse. And then we know we're having a number one, like, not a number one, my bad, but we're having a open challenge. So that leaves me with 1 more match, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's 1 more date left. And Austin Edwards, there's going to be one thing I want to say to you, and that is I want that BYCW World Championship. And if I have to be my very last match, I'll make sure that I'll vacate it properly. But I do not need a scumbag like you running BYCW and actually have that championship, both the championships on your shoulder. That PWF Uprising Championship, I made it into something, Austin Edwards,
You did.
not you, Austin. I did. And so if do you hear this right now, Chase Sullivan? You hear any of this in the back? Whoever does the writing, does the official stuff, I want Austin Edwards for the BYCW World Heavyweight Championship one last time, one last match. My last match will be for the BYCW World Heavyweight Championship. My first match was for the BYCW World Heavyweight Championship. Might as well go out the way I came in. And Austin, if you're brave enough and you're out there and you can hear me, you better accept.
Whoa! So you mean that the last match of your in-ring career is essentially where you want to start it for that BYCW World Championship. And we know you're a 10-time BYCW heavyweight champion. To go out on top and win an 11th, I mean, that's an accomplishment in itself. And you want the man that arguably you've had maybe the most history with of late in BYCW outside of your own family, in Austin Edwards, the assassin himself.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying here right now, Tom. Me and that man has been to war. We've had a street fight. We've had a world championship match.
I know. We've talked a lot about it. He's been here like 4 or 5 times the last year plus.
I think it's 5. I think it was 5 times.
Yes, 4 or 5 times. Yeah, it's 4 or 5 times he's been here. Yeah.
Austin Edwards was once the most loved person in BYCW, to the probably more hated than the Black Veil, because simply right now, I know my cousin wants to punch him in the mouth. We need to know how Drake Steele's doing. Drake Steele hasn't even answered the phone yet. Like, we don't even know where Drake Steele
is. We were talking about that with Austin. Just nothing. And Austin Edwards said that don't come back. And if he does, he's going to, make him regret it. I mean, just who knows there? I mean, that is an interesting point you made. I mean, we eventually have to think that Drake Steele is going to come back here in BYCW. I would have to think, because he can't let the assassin Austin Edwards run around with his championship. That was his best friend. And he has to, I would have to think, eventually just show his face or say something, I would think, right?
Me personally, I've been trying to get in contact with Drake, but you already know me and Drake ain't got the best history, like,
yeah, I know that.
It's not the best. And him and his brother was close, but we were informed that Blake Steele did not come in terms with the contract, and he will not be signing back with BYCW. So Blake Steele is no longer a part of BYCW, and right now I'm pretty sure that Drake is in the process of trying to figure out if he probably wants to sign another deal, for example, especially getting screwed out of the BYCW World Championship. But I mean, that's just the talks in the back. We got, every time somebody signs a contract, you got a certain amount of matches and a certain amount of dates that you have.
Yeah. You got to fill them. You got to fill those dates. I mean, that's just how it goes here in this sport. But I just wonder what Drake Steele is thinking, because Austin Edwards doing what he did to him, and that turn heard round the BYCW world, the Benedict Arnold that many people feel the assassin Austin Edwards was, and he turned his back on everything he said. He's been, like you said, many times here, 4 or 5, I think it was 5 times, like you said, and just everything was just thrown down the drain, just for all forgotten. And that's what, it's funny. You've been in this sport a long time. I've been doing this a long time. Almost 7 years I'm doing this next week. And it always is the decision. There are some wrestlers that do it for the fans, do it for the right reasons. And then there are some that do it for the championship or do it for the money. And Austin Edwards has shown, I guess, his true colors is that he's all about the gold. He's all about himself and everything that he talked about in the past, whether it was his child or whether it was his disability or anything else. It didn't matter. It was all a lie. And that's where he is right now. And that's why people are kind of feeling the way they are. And Drake Steele just has to, he has to want to say something.
I hope Drake Steele does resign, and I hope when he comes back after I'm done with Austin Edwards, tears his head off. Austin deserves it. Austin definitely deserves to get his head tore right off. He deserves to get Drake bombed right through the ring. I think Drake should grab Austin Edwards and throw him off the ring. Like, that's how disrespect that Austin Edwards has done to his best friend. We all know Austin can be a world champion in the right way, because you've seen it with the BYCW Intercontinental Championship runs.
Yeah, absolutely. We had him here. No, listen, Austin has won gold multiple times here in BYCW. You know that as well as anybody, but just unfortunately the way he won the championship last month, I mean, and he said he's not relinquishing that title anytime soon. I know you say that you want that championship, and that's something you want to go out on top with. And I hope for your sake you can do what Peyton Manning did and John Elway did in the NFL and go out on top as a champion. I really hope so. But Austin Edwards, I mean, he wants to take out the entire BYCW roster. He said that clearly here on Sportswire a few weeks ago.
I mean, and the whole BYCW roster wants to take him out. He has got the biggest target on his back. There is literally a big red target that says, like, get me, like, come at me, because you have the top prize in BYCW. Are you expecting no one to try to step up to you? Yeah, he's already beat Brandon James and he's already beat Blake Casey, but has he beat Dalton Skull? Yeah, a few times, but you know what? Has he came out on top? No, because every time we have a match, he still ends up on the ground. And when I first met Austin Edwards, I met a guy that had passion, a guy that I saw that loved this sport, that did not get the credit where it was due. This man did indie training. I don't know if he ever went into the details about that, but he wrestled for a company called EPW. And I think
he didn't talk about that here on Sportswire. No, he did not. No, he did not.
That man had training in professional wrestling for 2 years, but they would not allow him to go into the ring because of his disability.
Yep.
He had one dark match and almost shattered his ankle, and they allowed him not to come back again because they think he was a liability. And now I put that man in the ring, and he showed me this, and then he wants to spit in all of our face and do that with his best friend.
I know it's very hard to process. Listen, a lot of people are definitely taken aback by that. I do want to say hello to some people. I want to get to them. Our friends here in the EWA, Hubie Jenkins, the high authority, wanted to say hi from the higher ups of the EWA in the great state of Ohio. Thank you, Hubie. The guys are getting ready for their own show coming up here in 2 weeks, and we'll talk about it just before that. Zilla is in the house. Zilla has to say hello, and she wanted to say hi to you. Thank you, Zilla, for being here. Also, Zilla wanted to say hello to Johnny. Thank you for that. And I think it's a good time for me. I want to give you something. I know we got some stuff to talk about still, and I'm sure Austin Edwards will eventually decide to answer your challenge to him. It would be your final in-ring match, but I do want to do this because I want to share my screen, especially for those that are listening and watching here on Sportswire Radio, that I am inducting you into the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame once again because you reached this past year 10 years in BYW, and this is yours. And I have no doubt that there will be more inductions. And congratulations on technically your third Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame induction, 2 individually and 1 with BYCW.
Thank you so much. That means a lot.
Yeah, I'm glad you did. And we'll give you that physical copy when we're off the air. We thank you so much. And I actually have a tribute I have to get to somebody in a little bit. But there is a man that is here. And apparently, I guess the bat signal went off because he heard what you said about him. And that is the assassin, Austin Edwards. And he said, I'm here, Dalton Skull, and I'm proud of what I did to you and to Blake Still. He's reiterating what he said here on Sportswire, and he should know that you've challenged him. You have challenged him for your last in-ring match for Austin Edwards' BYCW championship.
Well, does he have the balls to even hop on here? Like, is he going to say something to my face? Is he actually going to cut a promo with Dalton Skull live?
Are you all right? Let's war game this out. Are you meaning to say that you want the BYCW undisputed champion here in this stream? I mean, that's up to Mr. Edwards. I mean, he can give me the back.
Mr. Edwards has got the balls.
That's up to you. Do you want Mr. Edwards? Because I'm sure Mr. Edwards can send me a signal, and I'm happy to give him that link if he would like a link. I am more than happy to give him one. He can let me know. He knows where to find me, I'm pretty sure. And I'm happy to do that. So I'll let Mr. Edwards send me a message. And if you want him on, and apparently I think Mr. Edwards is giving us a thumbs up. So are you sure you want me to do this? Because I'll give him the link right now.
Sure.
All right. If you're sure, I'll do this here. And hello to my friend who's obviously talking about you, but no, it's Anastasia Rasinia who wanted to call me, really meaning you, because you are one half of the BYCW Tag Team Champions. But thank you, Anastasia. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we're getting fans here now in sports. But that's what happens when you get Mark Farner of Grand Funk. And one day I have you live. You're the main event. Now think about this before we bring Austin Edwards on. I mean, you're the main event. This was my day. I started it with Joel Hoekstra, who plays in the Trans-Siberian Orchestra and played in Whitesnake. I had on Mark Farner, who was the guy of Grand Funk Railroad, an American band. And then I had Lorraine Lewis, who everybody knows from Femme Fatale and Rock Wives. And then you're the main event. So that should show you that you got in the Hall of Fame today. So for a third time. So obviously, I saved the best for last, and that's why I wanted you to know that. So, but nevertheless, I will send that link to Mr. Edwards, and I will look forward to him hopefully showing up here in a matter of minutes. So I will do that. And also, if you are here on Sportswire, please hit the sub button for BYCW. I cannot stress that enough. There are people here in and out of the chat, and I definitely want you to hit the sub button for BYCW. There's a lot of stuff coming up here. BYCW has weekly shows, Wednesday night showdowns are some of the best content all of wrestling, not just BYW, but all of wrestling. So please check out our friends here in BYCW. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce. You have voice figuratively and literally with all music, all sports, and all wrestling matters. Also want to plug myself because speaking of backyard wrestling, I got to connect you with somebody, Dalton Skull. We had the good fortune of bringing on before you was actually the director of a film, The Match to Kill. It's with the guy John Ambrose of Jambone Pictures, and it's starring Justin Chardulo, and has a lot of backyard wrestling influences. And Justin's looking to and John for some backyard wrestling content, and I'll connect you when we're off the air. But apparently, Mr. Skull, I have received word that your wish is my command, because here live in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, it's the assassin, Austin Edwards, the BYCW undisputed champion.
Mr. Skull, let's hear what you say to my face. Let's hear it.
You want to hear it? You want to hear it? You're a backstabbing, low-life piece of trash scum that used to be loved in the back of the locker room, but can't even go in the locker room no more because you got your ass kicked out from the disrespect you did to Drake. And now you're called to sign his contract. And now you want to come on here live just to be talked down to by the one, the only Dalton Skull. And what you going to do now here at BYCW? You trying to show everybody that you're the BYCW one? But guess what?
Somebody did that to me once, Dalton Skull.
Ooh, how the tables have turned.
See, there's been so many things that I've done to you. I've put you through so many tables. I've won championships over you. I've had my first singles match over you.
That's right. That's a good point. Thank you. Thank you, Austin Edwards, for reminding
you want to come at me like that, and I made you in that person because I showed you what it could be like in that locker room. You can't trust everyone. You had a trash tag team partner. You wouldn't become the BYCW tag team champion without me. What you was gonna do with a PhD assassins? No, you weren't known until you faced.
See how they work. They had a Mr. Skull in there. They had a broken skull actually.
Oh, a broken skull. Oh, you got a
broken skull, yes. A broken down skull.
Hey. Now, Mr. Edwards, I just want to also remind you, since you're coming in here now, that Mr. Skull wants his final match for your championship.
Yeah. Yeah, we already got the other matches and my date already set up, and I would love to go out the way I came into BYCW, and that BYCW World Championship does not belong to you. It actually belongs to a legend, a legacy here in BYCW. Anybody. I would even.
Yeah, we saw the video package. I mean, that video package is extremely well done, and we've seen just the lineage of champions. And Dalton Skull, you were at the forefront of that throughout your amazing career here in BYW.
I'll tell you what.
days, if I'm correct. 497 days. Records that no one could beat. The only person who even came close to that was Blake Steele. And that was only 200 and something days. You
Not
know
even
what?
close.
Blake anymore. He done took up and he left BYCW. He decided
You
not
see
to.
what I did to his brother?
Hey, could this be a sign for you, Dalton Skull? The baby is screaming because they know that the assassin Austin Edwards could be, putting the end, a bullet into your career, figuratively and literally.
The only bullet he's going to get is my bullet when I hit him with his own move, the assassination straight to the head like I did before.
Ooh.
So what you going to do, Austin? What you going to actually do? When you go against Dalton Skull at his full potential, it ain't no heat. We're in front of a crowd because we ain't going to do this in the backyard. We're going to do this in front of a live crowd at DWT location in a ring in front of 20 to 50 to 100 people. I don't even
know. Paying people
let's
are
do
going to
it.
see this match. This is going to be main event quality. The only place you can see this as a DWU2. I mean, ultimately, Austin Edwards, you may be an assassin, but I'll tell you what, you better find a way to bring your best because Dalton Skull is figuratively and literally putting everything on the line, and he wants to walk away on top as a champion. He wants to be just like Peyton Manning. He wants to be just like John Elway. He wants to be just like Michael Strahan. And he certainly wants to go out on top like the icon Sting. And you, Austin Edwards, is going to be at your expense.
Look, I've already got to go against the Black Veil at the Apocalypse, but I want to hear one thing, Austin. Do you think you're going to be able to do what I've done in BYCW? Or you think you're going to be able to do what King Savage has done in BYCW? Do you think you can do what Rampage Rawson has done in BYCW? Do you think you can do what PKM has done in BYCW? Do you think you can compare to what Okami has done in BYCW? Do you think you can that legacy, that lineage? Can you carry BYCW on your back? Can you do
I've
that?
been carrying it ever since I became Ever since I became champion, I've done a lot.
Yeah. Like what? You beat the Black Veil and you sit at home
Single-handedly.
Oops.
Single-handedly.
I was talking about that, Austin. I was saying to Dalton that in many ways you guys should have been strange bedfellows because you both have a common enemy in the Black Veil, but Mr. Skull says you're not even welcome in the locker room. He says you can't even dress in that locker room. But what I heard from those in the back is that you've requested your own locker room. You've requested your own dressing room, similar to other world champions in the past, like Hulk Hogan and Stone Cold Steve Austin. And that's the way you see yourself right now because you're the guy that's put BYCW at the forefront here, not just in backyard wrestling, but in all of wrestling. And according to Mr. Skull, you told me differently before we went in the air. As a matter of fact, you messaged me when you heard that comment about the locker room with Dalton Skull that you're actually dressing in your own locker room because you see yourself, like I said, similar to all the greats in wrestling history.
That's right. And I do have my own locker room.
You know what? You want to make something, man. You actually want to make something here at BYCW. You actually want to be more than just a footnote. You know what? You had the fans, Austin. Everyone loved you. Everyone loved you. Why would you pull that trigger and pull the bullet straight through Drake? Not once, but twice.
Why?
Yeah, why?
Yeah, we really want to know why. You gave us a clear answer last time. Why would you do that to your best friend?
Because the way everybody seen me was just a liability. I had to prove to everybody else and to myself that I can be that guy. And you know what? I am that guy because I have defeated you. I have defeated ATK. I have defeated the Black Veil. Hell, where's Maverick?
Well, Maverick, we did break the news, unfortunately, about Maverick with, the liver issue there, which we want to give him his thoughts and prayers. And apparently there is someone out there that says, look at this dude. He don't belong in a locker room. And also,
I have my own.
Oh, well.
So I mean,
Like, are you gonna take? Are you gonna do like every other world champion and take their ball and go home? Are you gonna end up just gonna go straight back? Wait, win the championship and not come back? Oh,
I'm not gonna be a Blake Steele.
you done did more than that, right, Austin? Right,
But
Austin?
we did see that list of BYCW champions, and there were quite a few that were vacated, and obviously that's what Mr. Skull was hinting. You've had an amazing run, but Mr. Edwards, you had talked about here on Sportswire when you were here 12 days ago that you were going to run the entire BYCW roster out of existence here. I mean, that's what you said. You said you were going to basically decimate the entire roster, and I guess what better way for you to do that with Mr. Skull and your own open challenge coming up?
Man, this man is a wannabe Undertaker locker room leader. You ain't nothing. And then once I leave BYCW, the only person I think that could even lead that locker room right now is Drake Steele, if not Okami.
If he ever comes back. If he ever comes back.
Now, you made that point, Mr. Edwards, that you feel that he'll never come back, that you've run him out of town.
I mean, I already have. We haven't seen him. We
were talking about that earlier. I'm glad that you brought it up, Mr. Champion.
Yeah.
We haven't even
contract agreements.
Like.
Well, and apparently also Old Boy needs to get the Warrior cycle if he wants back in the locker room. But you say, Mr. Edwards, that you have your own locker room, and that's the perks of being a champion. But guys in the locker room are now saying that that's not the case.
His locker room is the bathroom. Don't let him lie to you.
It ain't no bathroom.
Is it a porta potty instead?
It's a bathroom.
All the
bag,
you seen all the women come back.
You gonna come at us? Yeah. You need to check your bag next time.
Dude, y'all just mad because y'all ain't got y'all's own locker room.
Yeah. Poop in your bag.
There ain't no poop in my bag.
We put Randy Orton on your ass.
I know you ain't talking about other blades, okay?
Well, you know what? I understand that reference, but I think people will certainly not. I mean, great movie, Blade. That's the reference. But I mean, listen, Mr. Edwards, so are you accepting Mr. Skull's challenge that he wants you and that BYCW Undisputed Championship for the final match of his in-ring career? Are you accepting his challenge here live tonight?
Two things. One, I accept. And two, Dalton Skull, if you do beat me in that ring, I will get up as much as I will be hurting, and I will shake your hand.
Let's hope you do. Like, if you shake my hand, you know what? I'll show you a little bit of sign of respect. But Austin, let's hope you stay BYCW World Champion until then, because don't you got an open challenge coming up in Apocalypse?
I do.
We have the poster for that. We talked about that. Yep.
So, I mean, even if you do accept, maybe I won't be facing Austin Edwards. Maybe I'll be facing whoever beats you at Apocalypse.
Ooh.
Maybe.
Austin Edwards. I mean, listen, you may have accepted this challenge, but it may not even happen because you've put out this open challenge in your own right, and who knows, and Mr. Skull had made the point anybody could answer that challenge that's not even a BYCW employee, and you could be without that championship, and this conversation's all for naught.
Look how beautiful that is right there.
Absolutely. We love DW too. Absolutely. And there you are. There he is. There he is.
Beautiful. There's that backstabber, and then you got the DWT.
And there's the Black Veil and the Skull family in action with those BYCW Tag Team Championships. You have to follow BYCW on YouTube. And also, let's go. We get some sportsmen here. And also make it a light tube log cabin match. And Austin needs to stand up. We need to get a look at your championship. Okay.
Yeah, where is your championship, buddy? You got it in your freaking bag?
Currently getting polished.
Ooh, getting polished.
Don't even want I'm straight up. My belt's in my wrestling bag. It's ready to go when I'm ready to go.
Mine's getting polished for the next upcoming.
Yeah, to get all that nastiness coming off of you.
All from the former champions. I mean, it had a lot of gunk on it.
Ooh. Well, I mean, listen, there's certainly Mr. Skull. You were a champion not too long. Are you referring, Mr. Edwards, to Mr. Skull's most recent run as BYCW champion with that gunk?
My
Yes,
it runs better than your run right now.
they might be, but you want to know something? How many title defenses have I had
2,
since becoming champion? And
3.
you know what? They have all become better matches than you've ever had.
Oh, and you did say, Mr.
Oh,
Edwards, that you were intending to be a fighting champion because you wanted to run through the entire BYCW roster. That was certainly a point you made clear.
he's only saying that because of that review that happened from Copper Dragon because they got a 3-star. Oh, you coming at me because I got a 3-star match? You,
Look, I mean, ratings are what they are. Mr. Dragon, I will point out, rates his matches in a way to hope that you improve. And obviously, somebody here certainly has some comments. We appreciate them. And Austin, I don't know if they weigh in BYCW, but we'll leave those things. Thank you, Zilla, for saying hello to our guest. And do you have, fellas, any maybe final words that you'd want to say for each other? Because I actually have to plug something unrelated to this. Do you fellas have any final words here for each other, maybe?
Austin, if you're still champion by the time we face each other, if you're champion, I can't wait to face you in front of that crowd to show them what an actual wrestler you can be instead of the scum dirtbag you've been here lately. You can actually show the fans who you are, the person that they love, man. Show the fans what they miss because they don't like this Austin Edwards. They miss the old assassin Austin Edwards riding with the slugs, not whatever this is now, man. I don't even know what you are. Like you need to get past that greed. And like you said, I saw a little bit, a glimmer of that old Austin in there when you said you would shake my hand. I saw a little bit of the old Austin Edwards. I don't want this Austin Edwards right now. That's if you retain your BYCW World Championship. I want the old Austin Edwards. I want the Austin Edwards that fans once loved.
Beat me and find out.
We'll find out. We're gonna find out.
Oh!
If you can get that 1, 2, 3 on the assassin Austin Edwards,
that's the reason why you need to support BYCW.
if you want that old assassin Austin Edwards, you're gonna have to beat him out of me.
I will. And I'll show the world. 1, 2, 3. Dalton Skull. 11 time in his last time. BYCW World Heavyweight Champion. And I'm going to go out with my tag team championships and the BYCW World Championship and the PWF Uprising Championship.
We will see. As soon as time tells.
Three is a company. Tell them you okay. What Zandig say? Okay, and obviously, thank you very much for the comments. And before I do move on, I have to get to something separate, which, if I could for a minute, be allowed to share my screen shortly, because there's somebody that I need to plug that was very important to my platform and to many people that were close to my show. And that is somebody that really was a man that was a big supporter of mine. And unfortunately, I had found out the news that he had passed away last month. As a matter of fact, on December the 18th, he had passed away from a brain cancer, and he was a big supporter of mine, somebody that shared many of my British wrestling shows, and I had the pleasure to do a podcast with him not too long ago, and that's by the name of Glenn Abbott. Glenn Abbott was one of the hosts of A Work in Progress, which was a wrestling show played on my internet radio station, And Glenn Abbott was somebody that was a man that really loved the sport of wrestling, and he was somebody that gave his life in the UK to the British wrestling scene. And unfortunately, he had got very ill and had passed away from brain cancer. And I had just found out the news recently of it. And there's actually a memorial show that's being done tomorrow. And I wanted to give this to the work in progress guys, the Mayor of Canton and Piles, who have been played on my internet radio station for the past 4.5 years. And I wanted to formally induct Glenn into my Hall of Fame. And, definitely I'm thinking of his family right now. And he was a man that really was somebody that really loved this sport and just was somebody that when I think about wrestling, that was his passion. And he definitely was one of the reasons why Sportswire Radio became what it was. And I want to just give this, and hopefully this will be a sign that he is remembered to his family and obviously to everybody at the Work in Progress show. I want them to have this. We'll give them the clip so they can directly have it. But we wanted to induct Glenn Abbott individually into the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame and thank him for everything that he's done for our sport. Thank you for everything that he's done for Sportswire Radio and praying for his family. And he was a man that certainly was very opinionated. He had a lot of humor when it came to wrestling. And I had the fortune to share a podcast with him. And he did many on Sportswire Radio and also was somebody that knew the British wrestling scene, which I covered for many years, the likes of the Natural Born Fighter, R.P. Davis, and the likes of the Cumbrian Outlaw, Rick Marcus, and just many others that earlier on this platform were big instrumental figures and become, great people and on and off the air. And Glenn, we're thinking of you. We're praying for your family. Want to thank Piles and the Mayor of Canton for this opportunity, letting us know about this memorial. Yes, thank you. Sending our prayers and condolences to Glenn Abbott. Glenn was a good man and gone way too soon, just way too soon. And this young man, and unfortunately, we never got a chance to say goodbye and didn't get a chance to talk with him. It's funny. I messaged him on X like 6 months ago saying, "How were you?" and anything else, and we didn't realize he had got brain cancer and unfortunately was never got out, and we never got a chance to say goodbye. So please hug your loved ones. Please tell your family and friends you love them and forget about anybody else that doesn't like you, or don't focus on the negativity, because this guy never got a chance to say goodbye to his family and friends. And I'm actually really devastated about it. And I just heard out the news very, very recently in the last few days about it. So we just wanted to do this, and we'll give the video, the link, the tribute to Piles and the Mayor of Canton. They'll play it on the Glenn Abbott Memorial Show, which will air on the Work in Progress YouTube channel. Please hit the sub button for them. I would really appreciate that. The guys have been very instrumental in Sportswire Radio's success. And like I said, please hug your loved ones. Tell them you love them. And life is too short. And I can't stress enough the importance of that. And just, take every day and make the most of it. Don't say no to something. Don't say no, because you never know if you may never get that opportunity again. That's why you need to please support the Work in Progress show. Check them out on YouTube and watch some of their content, especially Glenn's memorial. And just want to thank everybody for allowing us to share the footage here of that. So please support the Work in Progress show. And obviously we also know that Austin Edwards and Dalton Skull will be competing in Austin Edwards for his BYCW championship. We think first we got an open challenge. Dalton Skull has 2 more matches before that. He's got a tag team championship shot that he'll be defending with Okami against Blackfield. One other match to stay tuned for. But fellas, anything else you want to say before we sign off here tonight?
I appreciate you always having me on here, Tom. I love the fans. I appreciate that like so much. You have no clue. I
I appreciate that.
years of doing this, and I don't come over here on here often, and I feel like that's also a little bit more special when I come on here.
It is. No, it is. When you come on here, there's certain guys that I think it's a bigger deal because we don't get a chance to hear them as much. And I think that you're one of those guys. Certainly, Johnny Velocity's in the chat is another one of those guys that, loves the wrestling community, loves everybody. You're another one of those guys that really does want to make a difference and do the
I want
best
to
you can.
book Johnny Velocity. I want to book Johnny Velocity so bad. Like, I would love to have him. Like,
I can talk to you with him, but I mean, he's got 6 more months, well, a little less than that now. So, I mean, I'm sure, if there's a will and a way, I mean, that maybe that could happen. You guys are in a ring now. You guys are in that ring. So, I mean, the door, I don't think is fully closed.
maybe we can get something going on. But man, like always, I appreciate you. Anyone out there that has issues or something going on, always make sure to talk to someone. Don't leave it to yourself. Actually, get help. And things could get built up and it could get worse. But like much love to everyone. Try to have more love on this world. Like
Yeah,
yeah, like seriously, you just gotta love one another and stop hating because like this world could be so much a better place. And
absolutely. Absolutely. Well said.
but I mean, I appreciate you as always, Tom. And I think this is what my fourth time being on here,
Yeah. Worth.
and it's crazy. And I'm glad to see how much your show's grown. You've had the likes of Raven, Rhino, Gary Wolf, like so many great
The
names.
Sick Boy was here. That one actually got more views than almost any other one I've ever done. The Sick Boy got like a lot of views on YouTube. I mean, the Sick Boy one, people actually still ask me about Sick Boy. I actually had one guy say, "Well, how'd you get Sick Boy?" I'm like, "Well, he reached out and we had him on, and yeah, we had some great ones in wrestling, and in the rock world, Josie Scott of Saliva, we have a wrestling tie with him, and David Elfson, arguably the founder of thrash metal with Megadeth, and Gus
Yeah,
G, the second longest. Yeah.
and we're on the same show. That blows my mind.
Yeah, and you know what? In the same day today, I had Joel Hoekstra, right? We're going to hear that later in the week. With White Snake Trans-Siberian. So Mark Farner, who by the way talked about love. For 10 minutes, he went on. When you hear that in a few days, he talked about all he said about was love. We got to love more people in this world, and and that's yeah. We've had some great names on here. I mean, just an amazing list of people that have been on here. In the rock world, like I said, Gus G. I mean, I was in Parade magazine for that. You're here. That's why I love giving everybody an opportunity as much as possible, because I think that's what it's about. If it wasn't for Austin Edwards and Dalton Skull, we would Johnny Velocity, other people, that we wouldn't have these names on here. So definitely we owe a debt of gratitude to you and to everything you're doing for this great sport.
Well, I thank you so much, Tom. I appreciate you having me on.
Absolutely. You want to say anything, Austin, before we go? Because I know you're the assassin, so put a bullet in your final words.
That is great. That's a great saying.
Thank you for having me on here, Tom. I really do appreciate it.
You're gonna put a bullet in my head. You're the assassin. If I don't let you on, you're gonna then decide to take me out of the black veil.
I was giving you that look like.
Very true. Very true. Very true. Awesome.
I got some very important stuff going on tomorrow. I will talk to y'all later on.
All right. Thank you, Austin Edwards. I'll let you run, and you can see that. And thank you, Austin. I think he really has to run. And thank you to Dalton. If you are out there, please follow Dalton on Instagram. I also can't stress enough the importance of supporting BYCW. Hit that sub button for them. We have a lot of great content coming up here for BYCW. BYCW is definitely on the way for a lot of great things ahead. So please support BYCW and what BYCW has to offer. And I can't tell you enough how much we love having BYCW here on Sportswire. BYCW is one of those companies that's really going to talk about my own growth. BYCW, over 1,500 subs and a company, I've seen a lot of different people go through it. And I think that shows you the success and, working with different people, BYCW going out there indoors and, having these shows where the fans are paying, and the BYCW World Championship to be defended in a live venue with paying fans. I mean, those are reasons why we want to support each other. And Dalton's been at the forefront of that. And like I said, one more time, Dalton Skull in the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame individually for a second time, also a third time. And I look forward to having you on here after that final match. And hopefully for your sake, you will be an 11-time BYCW World Champion. And I'm sure you'll be a topic when the YBW guys, especially ATK, show up here next Sunday, and they have a big show. So, thank you for all that you're doing for our great sport. thank you for everything that you're doing out there for BYCW and elsewhere. And congratulations on the success of the company. And we'll see what you do with these tag team championships. And I look forward to having you on here after your final match.
Thank you, man. God bless you. I
Absolutely. I appreciate that. Thank you very much for the kind words. My voice can use that because this is my fourth show I've done today. I did three. I did three, and then we're back to backs. It was 30 minutes Joe Hoekstra, 30 minutes Mark Farner, and then I did 30. Well, it was actually 45 with Mark Farner, 30 with Joe Hoekstra, 45 with Mark Farner, and then like 30 with Lorraine Lewis. And it was like, okay, I took a nap, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to do this. And we did that, and it was great. So I look forward to this, and we love BYCW, so please support them. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice figuratively and literally with all music, all sports, and all wrestling matters. Please support BYCW. Wednesday night showdowns are every Wednesday. Check them out. We have the next Big Show Apocalypse coming up here. Dalton's going to be defending those tag titles with Okami against the Black Veil. Austin Edwards Open Challenge. And if Dalton Skull and Austin Edwards meet, it's for that World Championship for the final match of Dalton Skull's amazing career. Thank you so much, everybody here, for tuning in. And until then, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. On the number one, Global Radio, into the Sportswire Radio with all music, all sports, all wrestling. Also, we'll be here tomorrow with Riley Bates. The one and only Riley Bates is here tomorrow. Yeah, Riley Bates is here, and he's here at 9:30. Riley will be talking about his SBW championships, and then I have on at 5 o'clock the infamous
that man blow out his knee.
I know. Riley Bates. Riley Bates is the guy that has. Another guy has an interesting history, and he's battling with Kurt Adams. Another guy.
Oh, that is one man. I shared a locker room with him, but never had a match.
Yeah, I know. I've gotten a chance to know Riley the last 6 or 7 months because he's wrestled now with LBYW. He showed up there, and he's got his own company, and he's become a topic the last 6 or 7 months. And yeah, Riley's a heck of a talent. I really like Riley a lot, and he'll be talking about Kurt Adams. So we'll see what happens.
Kurt Adams is talented too.
Yes, very talented guy. Although he said a few things about my platform, which I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let it go. But it is what it is. But we're gonna see what happens with Riley Bates. But thank you everybody for tuning in, and hope you have a great night. And God bless and spread the love. And we'll give Dalton a physical copy. And thank you everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. And have a great night.